United because of the talent around him and the opportunity to take good shots like we just saw him knock down there.
It's Callum Davison for his first minutes for the Breakers. Exciting young prospect, and we get our first look this afternoon of Dash Daniels on Sunday Hoops. Jackson Cartwright unsuccessful. Look how quickly they want to explore. With the ball barely touching the floor.
And I like the tandem of Delaney and Edwards. They already seemingly have a good feel for each other.
Davison rips baseline, back out for Lowe. Familiar surroundings. They are everywhere at the moment, Melbourne United. And Delaney a big part of that. He's got 4 points early on. It's a rare mistake in the opening term. Jackson Cartwright splits the D. Loose ball falls back out to Tarangi. Here's PJC. Got it.
No.
You did not grow up watching Flipper.
No, I did not. We had better things to do in America.
You have not lived. It's American show, my man.
Don't make this an Australian-American thing. Flipper's universal.
Yeah.
Flipper travels all over the world. 15-10. Melbourne United in front. We will get a dolphin noise out of him before the end of the game.
Impossible.
Walker.
Can't be possible, really.
Whoa. Daniels, look at that athleticism. Misses on the tip-in. Standing vertical leap there from Dash Daniels. Super impressive.
Should have gone ahead and tried to slam that one back through.
Rebounding was a feature of their win the other night. They were super aggressive on the glass. Dominated that 59, 54 to 39. Oh, that's a good play. The attack on the rim by Melbourne United and the passing has been a feature early on in the season.
Well, the interior scoring, that's 8 points already for Jesse Edwards on 4-4 shooting. And I can categorically say that he is going to present serious problems for opponents throughout the season with that length. And also, Andrew, I think it's his mindset. A guy with that size and the physical attributes and the skill set that he's displayed thus far obviously has his eyes on the big prize of the NBA.
Doyle from outside. 10-point lead for Melbourne United.
Oh, boards, Drew. That's 4. And Walker is giving PJC all types of problems in the back.
Did he get up? Ooh, did he get that over? I'm not sure he got that over in time.
He's attracting a lot of attention. Parker Jackson Cartwright, as he should. He's the Breakers' #1 offensive weapon. Davison, little turnaround jumper, left that short.
That's what you call a bad offensive possession.
They look focused and organised early, Melbourne United. Doyle again. Not that time around. Daniels knocks that out of play. 20 to 10, 4 minutes and 41 seconds to play in this first quarter. Melbourne shooting the basketball, Drew, at 69% in the opening term.
And it's because of the quality of shot they've been able to get. It's a real contrast in the ball pressure. Melbourne United's ball pressure has been superb, and it's been hard for New Zealand to get through their sets. Down the other end, Melbourne United getting through their sets easily.
7 rebounds in the first term as well. Tyson Walker, 24 years of age, out of New York. Fumbled by Bowen.
That was a beautiful pass by Walker.
It's another example of what we're talking about. They're coming off the on-ball screen, and there's a human being in front of them. So someone's there, but there is no activity on the ball, and they're able to make that rolling a target and get it to him easy, albeit that was more self-inflicted backdoor foul.
You just wonder whether Dean Vickerman has watched the film from Friday night, Derek, and seen something with the Breakers, because it is a full-court blitz defensively in the opening term.
Yeah, well, it was a high-pressure, high-possession game also against Brisbane. So early in the season, test New Zealand's legs, test their skills under duress. And New Zealand right now are copping a serious amount of duress from this Melbourne United defense.
104 to 95 was New Zealand's loss on Friday at home. Fabian Krislovic walls up. Daniels drives and scores. Timeout Breakers. Melbourne's parents a little bit later on with Steph. They had a lot of options and they chose Melbourne United. Of all the colleges, of all the different opportunities, they chose Melbourne to get the best out of his game, and it's working for them.
And Drew, it's interesting that Dean Vickerman is confident in his abilities. He's put him in both games early in the first quarter.
No, he is. And Dean got a lot of it. Had 10 guys in the first quarter. Another turnover of the game against the Jack Jumpers. Oh my goodness. This is just local defensive transition. Now it's hard when it's coming off turnovers, and it's hard when you're not putting the ball and they're not in the rim and you're not taking it out of bounds. But just need to be better. New Zealand Breakers. Look at this. There's just a wave of United players and way too easy. No protection of the paint transition. Getting back to Dash Daniels as well. Not only has he had some tough choices, it's tough financial choices as well, because with the new nil arrangements at collegiate basketball, he could have been making 7 figures playing collegiate basketball. So he's chosen the NBL as his pathway to the NBA.
This is an 11-0 run that Melbourne United are enjoying right now. Max Darling back out on the floor. Let's keep an eye on Parker Jackson Cartwright too. Looks to be really troubled by that rib complaint.
Pace.
This is ridiculous. I mean, this is just really poor by the New Zealand Breakers. There's nowhere near the urgency you need on the defensive end by the Breakers.
19 points they lead by. That helps from PJC. Peteri Koponen so disappointed that they let through 104 points on Friday night. The way this is going, Derek, they might be lucky to get out of this letting through 104.
Sorry, then I'll be able to get there. But in that game one, even after a pretty slow start, you know, he looked a little nervous to start that one, but boy, did he turn it on, both on the glass and on the offensive end. And he's perfect for this system that they're running because he's an athlete. He can get up and down the floor. They're really looking to push the tempo.
Well, Dean Vickerman will not be in a poor situation when it comes to choices of playing personnel for all scenarios he confronts this season, because I just don't see any glaring weaknesses in their 12.
No, spot on. They've pretty much got every position covered. And it's going to be a challenge to manage the minutes of these guys.
Just a little bit longer than some to put their roster together. Nice cut from Tarangi. Scores through contact with one to come.
And you're right, it did take a bit longer than a lot of experts would have wanted, as we see Parker Jackson Cartwright get on the left hand. And Tarangi really made that play for him. He finishes nicely with the left and go to the line to shoot one. But as we're getting used to this off-season market, we see some guys celebrating rookie round with a beautiful new T-shirt. Do you want one? Yeah, I would like one, Andrew. But the free agent market is so different now, and it varies from team to team when you decide to make your signings.
Yeah, there's some marquee guys that are always going to be front and center.
Doyle from deep, looking round. Oh, Wig can find it. Jump on the app and check that out too from Jesse Edwards.
Didn't need a gather step. Straight up. Tuck that in with some great authority. Oh, dear.
It's another careless turnover for the Breakers. Doyle trying to make them pay.
This New Zealand team has got some talent, clearly better talent than what we're seeing here with this 20-point lead. But we look at the Amy replay, and it's the turnaround, stuff it in with the right hand with authority. But to me, they look like a team that's 2 or 3 weeks away from being ready. They've got the pieces, just haven't been able to really refine the roles in the system just yet.
And I guess if you look at their roster, a whole bunch of changes. The roster that they have now looks totally different to the one they had last season. So are you saying that will take a little bit of time to come together?
Of course it does. And learning the nuances of your teammate and the system and where the point of emphasis and how you get it to the right people at the right time, given the circumstances of the game. All those things take a lot of practice.
And Sam Anenga's a big out because that puts the big rotation a little bit out of sorts, and it allows guys to play their natural role when he's out there in the lineup. And not to mention how talented he is. Took a bad head knock in that game against Brisbane.
14-8 on Friday night. Sam Anenga coming off a Summer League campaign with the Los Angeles Lakers. It is a big loss.
Certainly is. Strong guy and a young professional who is getting better every season as Doyle goes to work on Brockington.
Spin and a dime inside for Krislovic.
Doyle looks very comfortable already in this lineup, Andrew.
Yeah.
He's playing with a freedom that although he was successful at Tasmania, obviously, there's a certain
Swagger?
Yes, and swagger and poise you see the way he's playing the game now. I think he realizes it's not necessarily all about him.
He never looks rushed out on the floor. Always seems to be at his tempo. 7 points in this one.
I mean, Krislovic, a championship winner with the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. We spoke about in the first quarter, played a big part in that win on Thursday. Lopez off target.
And that's the question, Andrew. Can he knock down that medium contested three ball? Got a good look at it. The rotation was good on the ball. Just pulled it to the left.
Yeah, it still needs a bit of work, but it's a work in progress, and it's always good to have the other assets in place, and some of the other assets you can't teach, like the athleticism.
Doyle checks out with 3 fouls. Brockington wide open. That was pure. He's setting high standards this afternoon, Dean Vickerman. Despite the lead, he didn't like the way that looked, and again, calls a Tangerine timeout.
Well, it's interesting, Andrew, if you assess Melbourne United right now.
Do you like either of those?
Oh, I love the wonder from down under. That's really Aussie, isn't it? So let's go.
Maybe some NBL fans can send us submissions as well. The NBA will be in town soon. We're sure they will be watching. Thank you so much for having a chat with us
No
today.
worries. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great work, Steph. She's workshopped a couple of those in the lead up to today.
Steph going for most improved early off the bat. Wow, Drew, which one did you like?
Well, the wonder from down under is, I think we've heard that, not just in basketball terms.
Jeez, way to
quite
kill
a
the
bit,
move, Drew.
But I really like the Tim Tam.
Yeah, I like that one too.
That has just got a little bit of, now when you're over there, they'll be going, oh, what's all that about?
I like that.
It's also because you have a very sweet tooth.
Well,
Tim Tams really hit the spot with you.
No, that's for sure. And don't ignore the dark chocolate Tim Tam. Delicious.
Krebs can't score. Knocked away. Retrieved by Tom Wilson.
You say the same thing like we talked about with Lopez, about Daniels as well. That's the area of his game that needs to improve.
Just back to Daniels and also by extension Lopez, and why they're here in the NBL. Brockington scores strong. The advantage, or how is it viewed when you go to the NBA and the scouts are looking at you playing against adults as opposed to playing against other players your own age?
Well, it gets you used to a pace and a physicality that is hard to get elsewhere, in particular in the NCAA program as we look at the Chicago Bulls. Josh Giddey, owner of a new 4-year, $100 million contract.
I'd be smiling too if I signed that contract.
Yeah.
No doubt. And that's a great acquisition by the Chicago Bulls to have made that trade for him last year, because there was great promise and potential in Josh Giddey. You get a 22, 23-year-old point guard that leads your franchise for the next 4 years, Drew.
Yeah, and I think also with Dash, playing against men, those big bodies you talk about, it's also the style of play that Melbourne United play. It's much closer to what you'll see in the NBA, as we see another wide open drive by Krebs, just walking his way into the bucket, and a foul for the and one. First of all, giving up a board off a free throw.
Right.
And just points in the paint. They are getting a complete and total spifflication.
Well, Drew, also,
points in the paint.
It's just a simple scout. They keep letting these guys get on their right hand. You know Krebs wants to go right. And if you consistently allow players to play to their strengths and provide minimal resistance, you will find yourself on the back end of a 40-piece here at John Cain Arena.
The shot chart for Melbourne United is going to have a lot of green in the painted area. It has been too easy for them in the first half. Still 4 minutes remaining as well, and Melbourne have 47 points on the board. Daniels, shot clock at 7. Puts his head down and extends over the top. 7 points for the next star in the best part of 7 minutes.
And Jack, we know the physical attributes. We know what he's probably going to be able to do as Rob Lowe pulls the trigger and misses from deep. We know what Daniels is probably going to be capable of at the most elite level, but I like the poise that he's demonstrating as Wilson finishes on a lob from Krebs.
Bring to the table as well, because he can get up and down. He can go north to south real quickly.
Jack, it is an odyssey bringing the ball up against this Melbourne United team.
Liafa takes it into the lane, set back by Krislovic.
They've got Illy. They've got Walker, who has proven himself to be a handy up-the-floor defender. And then Dash Daniels is only going to be better as he gets more experience and confidence.
You have just joined us, Parker Jackson Cartwright. Just the 11 minutes in the game is battling a rib issue that he brought into the start of this season. His last touch by Melbourne United.
And this is a Tommy Wilson getting some point guard minutes as well. You're usually going to expect, well, here they come back now, Illy and Walker. One of them on at most stages, but just goes to show that, and this is the area of his game which he needs to improve the most. He was around a mid-50s in the G League.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah. But
Got some big shoulders on him, Drew.
He does, doesn't he? Like, yeah, Michael Cage type shoulders.
Just wide. You can see that's going to fill out. He's not through developing as he knocks down his second 2.
2 NBA games. Jesse Edwards with Minnesota last season.
Came highly recommended from Joe Ingles.
Yes. A high character person, which is what Melbourne put a lot of value on. There's Brockington with an easy 2. Back to 24 points the difference. Tom Coppins out there for his first minutes. Another talented youngster, Walker with the crossover. Brockington brings it up the floor for the Breakers, who've got a lot to talk about at halftime. Tough finish from Isaiah Brockington. He's got 11 now.
A nice little run here to finish the half by New Zealand, to give them a little bit of confidence going into the halftime break. Certainly don't want to be focusing on the score.
Illy absorbs a lot of the available clock. Turnaround doesn't go. Brockington again. 55-33. Spot to fill.
That's the key.
After moving on from Brent Blindberg before the start of the season, they can take a lot out of last night.
And it's a rivalry game, Jack. You must consider that.
Bowen out there to start the third quarter. Different lineup here for Melbourne United. Dash Daniels also starting. Pure from Milton Doyle.
Not the start you want if you're the New Zealand Breakers. You need to, hopefully this half-time break, that they just need to have a bit more fire in the belt. It's one thing to go down and just be beat by a very good team, but just no aggression whatsoever.
Rob Lowe gets that to drop.
Need someone to get angry out here.
Right. Disrupt just the energy in here. Make United feel uncomfortable. That is not a good example of United feeling uncomfortable.
Exactly a poor example.
Shooting at 53% this afternoon, Melbourne, in the turnover. And a big reason for that percentage is because of how many looks they've got from underneath.
Drew, I just don't understand why Rob Baker is not starting.
Yeah.
When you look at the ability to increase or raise your ceiling, that is going to be because of Rob Baker and not Rob Lowe, with no disrespect to Rob, as Edwards scores on him again.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to have a better opportunity defensively, I would have thought.
Stolen by Daniels. And met by a brick wall in the form of Lowe. Brockington pulls the trigger quickly. Rob Lowe wrestles back control. Jackson Cartwright, 12 minutes in the first half. That's a nice look for Lopez. .23 game. You can make that 25. And Melbourne are scoring almost every time they go down the floor in this quarter.
Yeah. And that was off a made basket too. Just seems so random, the way in which the New Zealand Breakers are playing in regards to who they're identifying that they need to get the ball to.
Pass, PJC for Brockington.
And that combination will need to work at a high level. As we look at this Amy replay, PJC knows what to do within a transition, and Brockington gives us a taste of his athleticism and power, throws it down.
Final game of round one, rookie round here in the NBL. That's going to be there all day long and all season long for Melbourne.
It's the complete and utter lack of ball pressure. Doyle comes over there and it's just target practice for him. He's not pressured at all.
PJC is cooked, Drew. He's done.
Yeah, but that time there was a screen. So whoever's guarding the screen was in that no man's land, and they just no pressure. Look at the replay there. So Lowe's there, but it's got to meet him, Doyle, a whole lot earlier.
Well, that's the softest of shows. There wasn't even really a drop.
It was a nothing. You're in no man's land.
There's Parker Jackson Cartwright. He's got a rib complaint that he's brought into the season and this game. He can barely get air into his lungs right now.
I don't see the point now, Jack, of continuing to push with him and persist with him.
Lopez with a tip in. That was nice.
Dean Vickham is not messing around with his timeouts. Like, if you look at his body language right now, you'd think he was 23.
See there who's just having a little something to eat right now. Big member of the under-16 national team. He's one of the brightest young stars in Australian basketball. Sitting next to him, one of Australia's greatest ever female leaders, Tess Madden.
No doubt. And just the talent that Australia is continuing to produce, Andrew, with great motivational models currently in the NBA. It just gets shinier and shinier.
Tess retired after the 2024 Olympics, but she's now paving the way alongside Lauren Jackson with the She Hoops Lead program, which is giving so many young females the chance to get involved in this great game. It's great to have them here this afternoon. Gilly drives and scores.
You know, I'm not a big advocate for zone defense, but given the way in which the New Zealand Breakers are handling any sort of on-ball screen, maybe they might need to look at changing something up, because the ease at which they're getting to the basket.
And Shea Ili appears to have a lot of pop in his legs. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast how he's pushing the ball quickly up and down the floor, but even in the half court there, he was able to create a seam for himself and get to the rim. Oh, nice move there by Britt. Lost Ili.
Brockington got to the left hand, got a swipe in the face too. No call. Lopez with 2 on the clock. Kicks it back out for Taylor Britt.
Not sure he got it off.
He did not get it off.
Now, even despite the violation, the shot clock violation,
Are you worrying about your own situation?
so I wonder if this is standard procedure for him in practices and games in the preseason, because we didn't see much of him.
Oh,
But
no,
if-
I saw him last year. This is what he does. He does do it.
Well,
Maybe not
perhaps
to
this is why
volume.
his minutes have been limited. Maybe
Yeah.
this is not what the coaching staff is looking for. But, you know, he is 3 of 7 from the 3, Drew.
Yeah. No, I hear, and there's no doubt that that's an asset for him, but whether that is the priority, that's the thing that I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, that's great. We need to see
Yeah.
a little bit more rim protection on the defensive end.
Lopez with another jam. $99.68 at John Cain Arena. We are back here on Thursday for the throwdown between the Phoenix and United.
Derek, just fill me in here as we look at the two-handed stuff. Because I don't know if you were involved in this, but we faced a chance where both Melbourne teams winning by at least 30 in the same round and playing each other the next. This is the only other time that's happened was back in '96 when the Tigers beat the Crocs. Were you there at the Crocs in '96?
Back then, the Crocs were called the Suns, and Andrew, thanks for bringing that up.
In '96?
In '96, I was a member of the Townsville Suns, and we were not good.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, you lost by 31. And the Giants beat the the Super Cats by 30. Yeah, a little bit of trivia there for you. Liafa splashes a 3.
Little trip down memory lane.
Still the Suns in '96.
Way to hit me with a body shot. I feel like PJC right now.
Daniel's lob for Edwards was a little ambitious.
I think Edwards only has another possession or 2 remaining in this game for Dean Bickerman pulls his pin.
22 points, 6